I honor life, I am grateful for you. Oh, life, I honor you. It's been almost a year since we were told about the pandemic, about the coronavirus. And during that time, we've all been going through evolutionary, spiritual initiations. Whether you are aware of what's going on within or not. That's my take on what is happening. And not just my take, but many in the spiritual community. We've experienced lockdowns when we've been living a life of busy, doing too much in our day. And many wanting to either intentionally or unintentionally, subconsciously create a posture of busyness, of importance. But the pandemic stopped most of that. We had to be locked down, right, sequestered in our homes. And when that happened, when everything stopped in our life, the inner began to surface. The noise became so great. We didn't recognize the noise before because we were preoccupied with what the world told us was important. Chasing fame, chasing money, chasing relationships, chasing love. Chasing consumerism, right? chasing, right? Filling in our time with mostly meaningless things. I say meaningless because now you've had the opportunity, if you've taken advantage of it, to reflect on what's really important, what's really meaningful for you in your life. So now that we've experienced this slowing down in this inner process, innerness, internal aspect of ourselves coming up, right? Let's call it the soul. Right? Before we were dominated by the ego, chasing, wanting, controlling, having power over, or at least thinking we had power over. But now this eternal, the heart, the soul, for most of us, has taken over. In his book, Soulcraft, Bill Plotkin talks about when the ego is developed enough, then the soul can take over. I highly recommend this book. I've read it. Powerful. It explains what was going on with me when I went through my spiritual awakenings, or another way of saying it, dark night of the soul. Many of you may be going through spiritual awakenings. That's my professional opinion, and also based on my experience. You see, now the soul has been unearthed because the ego is developed enough, because we are in a state of emergency on the planet, and we must awaken. We must expand. We must remember who we are. Because we've been deluded. And I said, yes, deluded. Because we've been fooled, hoodwinked, led astray by those who seek to control the masses. So we're going through this process. You can also see it as grief and awakening. Grief and awakening, all part of the same process. One moment we're happy, one moment we're crying, one moment we're frustrated, one moment we're angry. All of that needs to be processed. You see, you're gonna have a choice to make. Many of you are wanting to go back. You're not gonna be able to go back. You can keep your mind in a place where it's stuck. You can keep your progress in a place where you're stuck. You will suffer. You will suffer, either knowingly or unknowingly. You will suffer. But those of you who are at that place where you're deciding, what do I do? I've had this world of the material, right? And now this spiritual world, the world of the soul and the heart, has surfaced, has come up. And I'm open now. I'm seeing things now. I'm feeling things now. I'm becoming more aware. The noise is great. What do I do? Do I go back to this busyness with the lifting of all these restrictions, and we're getting back out in the world and traffic is mounting again? What do I do? I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what I did. I can give you some suggestions. My suggestions are to go slow. My suggestions are, with all that you're feeling, it must be processed. The anger, the frustration, the fear, the confusion, the newness of it all. What you're feeling, the new thoughts, the new vibration must be processed. You can access the body wisdom because the body has intelligence, has its own brain. Through movement, you can do EFT tapping to process the energy, meditation, yoga, chanting, expressive writing, also known as journaling, art, any form of creative expression, because the energy must be expressed. What you're feeling must be expressed. The noise, when it gets too great, must be expressed. Many of you are seeing the illusion, the delusions that we've been fed, that we've subscribed to. They must be processed. They have to be processed for mental, physical balance. In order for us to remain centered, to become centered and grounded. The mind has to be clear for you to recognize when you're being guided in the direction that's meant for you. No one can tell you which way to go. I can only offer you advice based on my own experiences. But this is your journey. You must decide what's best for you. But you have to be clear. You have to begin to feed yourself the foods that allow the body to function properly, because the saying is true, you are what you eat, and food is consciousness. I suggest, plant-based diet. You have to be clear mentally in the body, the immune system healthy enough for you to do what you're meant to do on this planet, for you to make the decisions, conscious, intentional, purposeful decisions that will guide your life, better your life, help you to go in the way that you're meant to go. See, when the noise gets so great, it means you're waking up. You're waking up and you got to take hold of your life. It's time for you to take personal responsibility of your life, because we've given over our power to governments, right? To clergymen and women, right? To politicians and teachers, to authority. And look where we are. Because most of them are not conscious. So now you have to get up and lead. You have to get up and guide. You have to get up and go in the way that you're meant to go. Your soul knows. Now you have to learn the skills. You have to learn the skills, how to listen for the divine message, how to feel in the body wisdom guiding you, right? How to know, just know, claircognizant, clear knowing. You just know what you know, and you can't explain it. There are many ways of knowing, right? You have to be able to recognize when a squirrel shows up on your path, it's telling you to be playful, right? When you see a woodpecker, it may be telling you that opportunity's knocking. You just have to know when you see fives, right? That's the angelic number of change. You have to know that anger begins in the liver. So when you're feeling a sensation there, anger is arising, and to know that it won't last, it's temporary. You see, your soul is ready because the noise is becoming too great. You have to know that when there's so many distractions, you don't have to turn to suicide. You don't have to become depressed. But you may need deep rest, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You're waking up, right? This is an extraordinary moment in your life. You're waking up. Get still. If you need some guidance, there are many qualified people out there. I'm out there. I'm a spiritual counselor. I've gone through this, right, a number of times. If it's not me, someone else. But pay attention, because there are charlatans out there. There are people out there who know you're waking up. And they may say they can guide you. Pay attention. Have they experienced it? Do they have some learning, right? Because there's a misconception that spirituality doesn't require learning, doesn't require literacy, doesn't require intellectual vigor, doesn't require rational thought. It does. It does. You're waking up. If the noise that you're hearing is becoming too great, that's a sign you're waking up, that you're ready, Go slow. You don't have to buy a ticket to all the theatrical events, right? Don't identify with all the distractions. If the distraction will not help you on your path, will not help you to grow, will not benefit you in any way, don't buy a ticket. Don't buy a ticket. When the noise becomes too great, you're waking up. Hallelujah, you're waking up. and I'm here to help. Oh, thank you, Love Posse. Thank you for your time. I wanted to share with you some wonderful things that I'm putting out in the world. Spiritual counseling, 101 spiritual counseling. I have created a women's Zoom circle beginning in April. I've created an in-person women's circle beginning in June in Sedona. I'm recording this in Phoenix, but I bought a house in Sedona and it's being renovated, and I will begin in June my in-person spiritual women's circle for women over 50, the second half of life. I'm 53, and it's amazing. It's amazing, right? Also, again, I mentioned tapping, EFT. I have 3 EFT books. Tap That 2, which I just relaunched. Tap That 2, Healing the Death Trauma. And my children's tapping book, Tap Tap Tracy's Hair, God Made It Special. Right, so check out what I'm offering. Also, I have a goal of attracting 10,000 new YouTube co-creators, supporters of my work. 10,000 new seekers of spiritual knowledge. So I'm asking for your help. If this content is something that is useful for you, please subscribe. Please tell your friends, share the video, share my work. I'm not asking you to like the video because I'm particular as to what I like. So I won't ask you for something that I'm not willing to give myself. And Love Posse. I've had an artist out of Australia design the artwork for my t-shirt that's coming out, my Love Posse t-shirt. It is phenomenal. So look for that. It's coming out. My Love Posse t-shirt. You're going to love it. So thank you, Arna in Australia. Beautiful artist. When the noise gets to be too much or becomes too great, congratulations. You're waking up. You're waking up. You're waking up. Much love. Much love. I see you. I love you. I honor you. Namaste. Namaste.